So Majority wanted me to respond to another one of his table topics, and this one is about replaying games that you've already beat. Now, I'm kind of weird when it comes to replaying games because I usually don't, and the reason why is mainly because there's a lot of games that I need to catch up on, as I didn't really play that many games as a kid back when the 6th generation was going on. So now I'm going back in time to games released in the 6th generation so that I can play them, because I know there's a lot of great games out there that I just haven't played, and I'm still on a mission to do that. And because of that, I just simply don't have the time to spare to be playing games that I love again. Though I can't say that I haven't done so before, as I have replayed a few games, but not many. And the games I want to talk about are mainly Need for Speed Carbon and Painkiller. Now, I don't know why I've replayed these games so much, but I think partially with Painkiller it's because I lost my data quite a few times, so I replayed it because of that. But with Need for Speed Carbon, I think there's a lot more to it. I think when it comes to Painkiller, I don't usually replay the entire game from the beginning up to the end. Not usually, but I do sometimes start it up and play a level or two, if that makes sense. I don't know, I just like to go back to that game and to just re-experience it and just kill things. But the thing is, and here's the thing, even though I go back to games, I don't typically replay them all, if that makes sense. And the thing is, I have replayed Painkiller. I actually challenged myself to replay Painkiller by doing a Let's Play of Painkiller, and if you haven't checked it out and you're interested, then by all means check out my Let's Play, as I did spend quite a bit of time on that thing. And yeah, I know that Let's Plays are kind of like a dying breed on YouTube now, but that's pretty much the only Let's Play I have on my channel, and it's Painkiller. So when it comes to other games like Need for Speed Carbon, the reason why I've replayed that game so many times is simple. Because it's short. Because it doesn't take so much of my time to do so. That, and the fact that there's a lot of personalization involved. And obviously, if I was going for like the usual run, I'd be picking the Barrera first, then I'd be getting the Dodge Charger RT, then I'd be getting the Viper. That's the usual run for me on Need for Speed Carbon. I mean, I might get a Super Impreza on the side, you know, because I like the Impreza as well. You know, get all my favourite cars, you know. I'm not saying that the Barrera is a favourite car of mine, but considering that's a starter car and I can only pick between the three, that's the one I always pick, just simply because I'm used to using it. And I once did a video where I just played through the game and just challenged myself. I mean, the video isn't on my channel anymore. Well, it's unlisted, but I basically did a video challenging myself to beat the first 3 bosses with just the stock Barrera, and yeah, I did that, and I have fun doing that, just simply for the challenge, so it's a bit like Majority's free heart run in that sense. But honestly, like, the main reason why I replay Need for Speed Carbon is simply because I want to try different cars and experiment to see how they all handle and stuff. Like, sometimes I will decide, you know what, I'm not going to pick the Barrera, I'm going to pick the Camaro, or I'm going to drive the RX-7, or I'm going to drive the Corvette, or the SLR McLaren, you know? Try different cars out and see how they work, and I enjoy doing that. It's like, there's some vehicles that I just haven't really given much of a go even now. I mean, I'm trying to think of what they are. I don't think I've driven the Mustang yet, mainly because I'm not a fan of Mustangs. And I don't know about any other cars that I haven't driven yet. I mean, I have driven a lot. Maybe not the Ford GT in career mode, but I think I have driven it outside of career mode, so I kind of know how it is. But yeah, like, just trying out different cars, that's the gist of it. And yeah, that's basically the gist of why I replay Need for Speed Carbon. And for the record, on the Wii version I have all the reward cards as well, so I basically have kind of 100% completion on the Wii. Though I do also have the PC version now, and that's the version that I play usually nowadays. And on that I don't have 100% completion, but I did restart the game and do my normal usual run, And yeah, this time I got the collector's edition version, which has the Jaguar XK and the 240SX. And yeah, I think I used the Brera, or was it the Camaro? No, I used the Camaro for this one. And then I used the Jaguar XK, and after that I got myself a Viper, and I don't know if I got the Subaru. Yeah, I actually did get the Subaru. I also won Kenji's RX-7 as well, though I barely even used it. So yeah, I don't think I won the Charger RT though, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, I just used the RX-7 since I had it at the time. Well, actually no, I used the Jaguar, not the RX-7, because the RX-7 I just won and I already had the Jaguar, so I was like, what's the point? You know? But yeah, that's what I did on that playthrough. So I have played through Need for Speed Carbon numerous times, a lot, and it's because of the fact that it's short and it has personalization, so I can change things up. It's like, for example, let's look at Star Ocean: The Second Story by comparison. I've only played that game through twice in my entire life. This is a game that I really like, and the fact that it's a game that I really enjoy might make you wonder why I've only played it twice, and there's a reason. Because the game's long as hell. Yeah, sure, I get to have different endings with different characters, but that's not enough, because I still have to sit through the mayor's long speech at the start of the game, and yeah, it is a pretty slow start in Star Ocean: The Second Story. And the thing is, when I replayed Star Ocean: The Second Story, I actually had to get the original, because the first time I beat it on the PSP, which was Second Evolution, as I didn't own the original. Now I own the original, I replayed it again, and I had a lot of fun replaying it, I'm not gonna lie. It really was refreshing to go back to that game, but the thing is, I just don't have the time to go back to games usually, especially when they're long. And as for the first Star Ocean, I went back to that game mainly because I lost all my data for it, so I wanted to get it back. As for Star Ocean 5, I replayed that. I actually did start a stream of it a while back, which was basically me replaying it on Chaos. And yeah, I just kind of stopped mainly because I just wanted to move on and do other things. But yeah, I did replay it though, mainly because I played the Japanese version first and I wanted to replay it in English, and I did. So I've technically played Star Ocean 5 twice. So the only Star Ocean games that I haven't replayed are Star Ocean 3 and Star Ocean 4. Oh, and Blue Sphere if that counts. So yeah, I haven't actually finished Blue Sphere, so I can't really say that I've even beat that game. But in any case, that's kind of the gist of it. I mean, I can't think of any other games that I've really gone out of my way to replay. I mean, you could argue that I went back to certain games just simply to do videos on them. Like, I went back to Kirby 64 just to do a stream on it. Though I didn't really beat it because I didn't get all the crystal shards. But, you know, you could argue that I technically beat it because I beat Miracle Mire. But, yeah, like... And also, I remember I replayed Diablo because when I first played Diablo 1, I played it co-op with a friend, and I played the PlayStation version, and later I got the PC version and I played a sorcerer, and yeah, it was a different playthrough, and I did multiple runs as that sorcerer just simply so I could get stronger. Diablo's a really short game, and it's also randomized, so it's different every time. The problem with Diablo is that I've lost all my data for it on the PC version, mainly due to the same reason why I lost all my data for Star Ocean, because yeah, it's all on my PC, and I played Star Ocean on emulator because, well, the original is in Japanese and I can't understand a word of it. I do have the original copy of Star Ocean, but I really can't play it because it's Japanese and I just can't understand it. That and the fact that I think the safe battery might be dead on it, so yeah, it's not a good idea to play that game in Japanese on the original cart. So I played it on emulator, and yeah, I went back to it on the emulator, and yeah, I made a stream out of it. And I think that's another thing about replaying games, like, sometimes, and I felt this as well, sometimes I felt like, in order for me to replay games, I need to have an excuse to do it, and that's kind of the reason why I did a Let's Play of Painkiller, just as an excuse to go back to that game and replay it. and just to be productive, to make myself feel like I'm making progress. Because here's my problem with replaying video games. When I'm replaying video games, I feel like I'm not making progress. I feel like I'm not doing anything productive. I just feel like I'm just wasting time. And yeah, sure, I'm having fun, but it doesn't really get anything done, you know? It doesn't make any progress in what I want to do. I'm very progress driven as a person, and I always want to like have some new experience and just constantly like be playing different games and at least get something out of my playing, if that makes sense. And I find when it comes to replaying games, you're not really getting anything new, you're just getting the same experience again. And yeah, I mean, you could argue that I replayed Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, but yet again, it's because I lost my data. So I can say that there is some reason to go back to games, but the thing is that I just generally don't have the time to do so, and I wish I did. But it's like right now I'm playing through Sengoku Basara 3, and you could argue I'm replaying that game because I'm playing each character's story, but that takes time in itself, and because of that, I'm not going to be replaying the entire game again with all the characters' stories, because that would just take too long. But I do want to finish all the characters' stories because, well, I just want to see all the cutscenes and stuff and experience all the different playstyles. So yeah, I've been playing that game for quite a while now, and really there's a lot of games that I still need to, you know, get to. And yeah, I just want to move on, to be honest, because I just want to get through it. But I have had a lot of fun playing the game, so why should I stop now, you know? It's just, I've got so much to do, gaming-wise, that I just can't find the time to go back to games. And I wish I could, like, if I was to replay any game, maybe Valve 2, because I've never fully replayed that game. I know, that might sound like a cardinal sin. I mean, I have gone back to it, like, I've attempted to go back to it, but I've never fully replayed it, if that makes sense. I've only just gone back to it. And yeah, I had to stop in the middle of it because I had to move on, I had to do something else. And the only reason why I went back to it was mainly to get footage for videos involving it, like my review of Valve Profile 2. I replayed part of it just simply so I could get footage for my review, and then I had to move on. And that's usually the case. And it's not because I'm not interested in the game, that's not the reason why I drop it, it's because I just need to move on. And that's the thing, that's the issue. It's like, I replayed Castlevania Curse of Darkness for a stream, not necessarily because I just wanted to replay it, if that makes sense, even though I did want to replay it. But the thing is, I replayed it for a stream because the stream encouraged me to go back to it, if that makes sense. And that's really the case. So yeah, as I say, with playing games, what it comes down to is the game short? That's pretty much what it comes down to. Because if the game is going to be long, forget it. If the game is going to be short, well, it doesn't really need anything special to get me to replay it, though it does help to have some personalization in there just to make things feel a little bit more different. Just basically let me change things up. I mean, I know Majority brought up the whole free heart challenge, but the thing about Zelda is that's probably the worst game for me to replay, and I haven't even finished any Zelda games, so yeah, but to basically explain why it would be the worst game for me to replay is because there's no variance to the gameplay. You're doing the same thing every time. You can't really change up your strategies because really you have to solve puzzles in a specific way. There's only one solution to every problem, usually. I mean, yeah, I know he brought up like Deku Nut on the first boss and all that lot, but usually it is just like only one solution to each problem, and because of that it just kind of gets stale to me, and that's the reason why I'm not into Zelda games. Well, there's more to it than that. It's also the fact that puzzles to me are just vague. As someone who's progress driven, playing games like Zelda is a real turn off, because like it's a real turn off is puzzles to me, because I'm just sat there making no progress while figuring this out. I'm just wasting time when I could be leveling up my character, gaining experience. That's progress, you know? And I'm very progress driven in that regard. That's why I can't play Zelda games, because I make no progress, because I'm not good at puzzle games. And if I use the guide, it would defeat the whole point, because the whole point is to figure out the puzzles. If you're not doing that, then you're not playing the game. You're just basically cheating. And what's the point in playing the game if you just have to cheat through it, you know? And that's why I never really bothered going back to the Zelda games. So, yeah. Anyways, I think that pretty much sums up my point. And I'm not saying that I am against replaying video games, because I have done so in the past. It's just that it's a very rare occurrence for me. I just don't really want to invest time into doing something that is not productive for me. Everything I do has to be productive to some degree. Every single thing. You know, whether it's playing a new game to experience something new and fresh and to broaden my horizons on gaming, or to play a game again just for content reasons. That's usually the case. That's usually what it comes down to for me. I want to get everything out of the replay as I can, if that makes sense. And that's, like I say, why I replayed Painkiller. So, yeah. Anyways, this video is done, so see you guys.